bed first get there, what's the first thing you try to do? For some people, I just jumped on it. You know what I mean? Other people do other things to break their bed in, but when it first got to me, I jumped on it and my teeth clacked together. I was like, yeah. It was a stiff bed.
That's the goddamn bed I'm looking for. Yeah. What's the name of the goddamn bed? Nigga, this bed costs $5,299, man.
Damn. Just take out student.
Oh, that's because you're a doctor.
Going to Chipotle or going to Chick-fil-A or having 1 or 2 slices of pizza won't kill you. But when we get pizza, we eat the box. You know what I mean? And I mean all of it. We pouring the butter on top of it. I know I do it.
What's happening? This Gator?
What's happening, y'all? This is your boy Mamba.
And it's the Gator and Mamba show.
Welcome. Got a big ass smile on my face because we had a pretty intense discussion before this motherfucker even started.
I'm ready to go.
The energy is lively up in this bitch. But as record shows, we're gonna continue to go by how we operate. So first, I'm gonna ask you, as far as your weekend, how was it? What was you up to?
Oh man, I just hit a little art show, a fundraiser type of situation. You know, it was real live. You know, had a little live auction in there. You know what I mean? We was dilly dallying and just kind of making it live, making it a party like we like to do. So
yep.
It was pretty cool. What about you?
Well, stupid question, because we was at the same motherfucking
yeah, nigga, but
joint.
You could do something else.
But at the same joint, it was called Art Is My Weapon, and it's just how it sounds. You know what I'm saying? It's basically getting youth and individuals off of the negative aspects of thinking and putting some creative turn points, colors, music, whatever you have to a more positive thing. And I can tell you, it's something that we invested in. As a matter of fact, we were sponsors to it because it's a beautiful thing. Anytime that somebody's turning from a negative aspect to a positive and using that to emphasize some greatness, specifically art, I'm with. So
yeah.
It was
Black
a real
excellence.
good event,
Absolutely.
man. Real good event. So what's up with your boy?
Who that?
Oh, Orange Cotillion.
Wow.
Captain Orange.
Captain Underpants. I'm talking shit. What's happening with him?
No, you ain't seen that video that's spiraling. Actually, it's not even necessarily. Yeah, it is him too. What's his name? Tesla dude. Musk.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
You see him in the Oval Office with his child?
I seen it.
You seen his
I
child?
seen it, man.
Yeah. Did you happen to hear some of the stuff the child was saying?
The banter.
Let
me know what
like
it was.
like right underneath the microphone, like straight microphone, and the kid was saying it right here. You ain't hear none of that?
Oh yeah, I heard something.
Well, for one, this little person said, and let me put on record, ain't no such thing as, especially at that age, ain't no such thing as bad kids. Anything that you hear from this child's mouth directly comes from his father or his parents, period. Because they just repeat what they hear. That it's not creative. They're not creative enough in that sense, whatever. But what Shorty was like, what'd he say? You're not the real president.
Oh. Yeah, I heard him say that.
Yeah.
Didn't he say something else?
He did. He actually said, shut the fuck up.
God damn. So wait a minute. You telling me?
And look, Trump just looked like, did this nigga just say, I'm gonna shut up right now because I got $250 million in my pocket right now from your daddy.
I need to know something though, because I'm curious, and I'm just so super curious, right? So we're talking about the same country, right? That hails their first president ever, George Washington. That's correct, right?
Uh-huh.
He was a Mason, I believe, right? And in a secret society and all that, the foundation of America, and it got all the way to the point where the rich man's kid tells the president of the United States to shut the fuck up for everyone to hear.
Well, the funny part is that he actually shut the fuck up. To be honest, president just looked at this little nigga and was like, "You know what?
He was obeying.
when you leave, I'm gonna be mad again."
I'm talking again. I thought the little nigga had a little gold chain on and everything. Like he says, Debo, young Debo.
Man.
What is going to? So again, remember, I believe we had a conversation, and the conversation was specifically about it's not racism, it's classism. It's about money.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Right?
Yep. The
it's
ultimate goal
money.
is classism.
Period. Right?
And,
money gets you anything.
The smoke and mirrors is meant and was created in the 1600s to segregate the whole. And we just had a Regina on our podcast to kind of break all of that down to a certain degree. But in the 1600s, there was all of a sudden this black and white element. Had there not been the black and white element, it would just be the conversation of class. And quote unquote poor white people would probably be on the same motherfucking side as everybody else. Like, this is some bullshit.
Well, they starting to say it.
Yeah, they starting.
They starting to say it. They starting to feel like it's some bullshit, right? Because they live in it's like a bloom. It's like it's blowing and it's blowing and it's blowing and it's got to pop, right? Because it's unsustainable. You can't keep taking from one end, sucking and pulling from one end and taking it to the other side without distributing it back to that end.
Nigga, I seen on a show where they was doing something in Kentucky where they was doing where they was talking to education folks. So they was talking to the superintendent in some county in Kentucky, and they were talking to some teachers, and they was like, "Yeah, we voted for Trump and blah blah blah." Right? They were real proud of that, and they were like, "Well, what do you feel about the changes in terms of because they're taking federal funding from these?" And they were like, "We didn't vote for that, right? We didn't vote for that. We never spoke about that." And now they're feeling sorry. What do you call it? Buyer's remorse.
Buyer's
remorse.
Yeah,
that's what they feeling right now and shit.
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
you can't do
damn.
nothing about it, right?
Yeah,
you can't do a goddamn thing about it, but talk that shit. Blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up.
Yep,
It's over. It's too late for you. Sorry. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? If you ain't prepared, you ain't prepared. That's what it is.
So
you know what I mean?
ultimately, the state of this country, and the funny thing, also another thing I'm noticing is that other countries, other places are reaching out to America, like, "Hey, you need an asylum? Come on here. Like, come on this way. If you got a problem here or whatever, we see what's happening over there. Y'all can come on here." So it's a lot of other countries, Canada, etc., Mexico, Ghana, Nigeria,
For
Kenya.
who? For black folks?
You black, I'm black, so we only talking about black folk in this essence.
So you
They're
saying Canada is reaching out and saying black folks come here?
They opening
When?
their
Show
borders. I ain't showing you shit.
'Cause you lying.
Google it, nigga.
You lying.
But they opening their borders well enough
For
to be
black
like, "Hey,
folks.
if you got." What part are you missing, nigga?
I'm missing something. God damn it. Something is not connected.
Even South America. South America is opening their borders like, "Hey,
Man,
man."
you heard this shit on TikTok.
That's the same shit you heard your shit off of.
I'm just
Same
saying,
shit you
it
said your
has
shit
no
off of.
valid validity to it, my man.
Well,
I believe it.
first of all, Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria are
Okay, there you go.
100%
I believe you
opening
now.
their borders for Africans in the diaspora. So, period. That's point blank. Period.
All right.
Now, everywhere else, I ain't gonna speak on, but I know back home, if you will, are opening their borders for us.
Yeah, Mexico.
But
opening their
given
border for us.
this climate and shit like that, all of this stress and shit going on is causing a lot of unease, a lot of being uncomfortable, a lot of where do we go, what should we do now, and shit like that. And opening the borders or whatever gives us an opportunity to kind of make those, as you and I, Pan-African, whatever, making those connections or whatever to make bigger things happen. Because personally, I think the revolution is in economics. It's really in us building, turning ourselves to one. What are we in America? They say our GDP is 1.1 trillion.
Yeah.
Like we could be the fifth largest motherfucking country.
Yeah.
On the planet.
Yeah.
Even if some of that, let's say half of that goes towards fuck it, let's go to Ghana. right?
Yep.
Now Ghana's $500 billion more advanced than what now
Yep.
because of our
Yep.
2 cents, if you will.
Yep.
That's where I think the real power is.
So connecting as one, as a unit, and moving as a unit to make strategic moves for the betterment of our community.
Right. And it's not like it hasn't happened before. You know, it's happened before.
Man, we can't talk about what happened before, man. This is 2025.
It's happened before in this country after Reconstruction and shit. We had, the best well-known one is Oklahoma. What do you call it? Black Wall Street, right? The best, but you got all places
Man,
across
you
the country.
historian niggas get on my nerves, man. You always talking
you got
about
all
some shit that's gone.
Right, but the fact is, you talk about it so that you know that we have the ability to do it. Most motherfuckers talk like, "Oh, black folks ain't gonna get together and do shit." It's like that's bullshit. You and I got together. We got cats in here. We can get together. So it being that it has happened and it is happening, it can continue to happen.
We got together and hit target for 15 billion.
What you mean?
We protested. Everybody didn't go shop at Target, and it cost them 15 billion.
Oh. From the DEI thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so because we decided to get together and we said, "Oh, Target, you ain't fucking with DEI." We said, "Fuck it," and it cost them $15 billion.
Yeah, as we moved as one, as one hive mind, we say, we ain't going to shop at Target. They own some racist shit. Fuck them. And then it cost them a couple dollars, right? Enough to make attention, right? So now if we just cut Target totally out our memory banks, all of us, not a black soul go in there. That motherfucker look like a Tom and Jerry. You remember that Tom's grocery store that used to be in the hood back in the days? They gone, right? That's how motherfucking Target gonna be.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Well, that is the deal. We got to focus and point towards one another because matter of fact, if y'all want an alternative to Amazon or Target or whatever, there is I think they changed their name, but I know you can still Google it. It's called WeBuyBlack.com. WeBuyBlack.com. So if you go on We Buy Black, you got toothbrushes, you got toothpaste, you got toilet paper, you got makeup, you got lotions, et cetera, et cetera. All of that shit black on WeBuyBlack.com. Now, if we focus that 15 billion, right? Because we said Target, fuck Target, and just focus that 15 billion on that particular company right there, that particular company becomes our Amazon. It becomes our motherfucking Target. Now it's in all of our neighborhoods and all across the motherfucking nation.
Only if that platform is down with the agenda. And what the agenda is for us to take care of us. So if they ain't gonna take care of us, if they just go get the money and spend it on motherfucking Space Explorer or SpaceX or whatever the fuck they be spending their goddamn money on, then we ain't gonna get nowhere. Nigga, you gotta put that shit back in the pockets of the people. You gotta generate that dollar. Remember Black Wall Street? They generated that dollar. You got to have that dollar circling in our community over and over and over again. Not trying to hurry up and get it to goddamn Louis. Louis did what?
Yeah. That's the killer part. Is motherfuckers make six figures and shit like that, and they feel like they gotta immediately get their money back to the white man. Buy Louis and all this other shit. It's like there are so many. Like we know of black businesses and even clothing lines where they can customize your shit, or you can buy it direct from them, and the shit look fly. The shit look like us. It looks like us, rather than us putting pieces together and trying to make it us. So let's say, remember back in the days we had fucking Eddie Bauer. All them fucking polo and shit. All that shit was whitey white like a motherfucker. And only club owners, as far as them white, club owners, the single club owners, the motherfuckers, the white clubs. What am I gonna call them?
Well, nobody know what the fuck you talking about.
Nah, the private clubs, the white people to go to.
Oh,
anyway,
yacht clubs
or whatever. So they wear these polos and shit like that, and we brought it into a style. Because of hip hop, because of our culture, because of who we are, whatever. And now, their whole shit got lifted. Tommy Hilfiger, all that shit. Nobody was paying attention to that shit till we got into it. Now we can actually have the opportunity to do the same goddamn thing with our shit. Specifically, you got what is that? Guap on right now. I'm pretty sure that ain't no Polo or Tommy Hilfiger or anything like that. Guapi, sounds Spanish. Sound POC or whatever. But that's exactly how we got to direct our motherfucking dollars, man.
Oh yeah. It has to be that way. We make it happen with each other. We grow in understanding with each other, and then we stop allowing ourselves to become that battery or what we are, because we're a battery right now for America. We're a battery for America to suck all the energy from us. They get all their money from our creative genius. That's why everybody sell a story, right? It's always a story. Nobody really care about your product. They want to know your story, right? So you can add to their story. And now you're talking about, oh, I support this and support that. They ain't got to do it now, right? Because they got rid of the DEI, so the story ain't gonna matter no more, right? They just gonna be like, fuck you, you black. I ain't fucking with you. You know what I mean? But I can tell you one thing for sure. If you black and you want to come work with MIB, you
Or
might get a job.
OOI.
Or OOI.
Shit.
You know what I mean? Well, if that's the case, any of the businesses we got.
All right, so we gotta transition because we're inviting a gentleman in terms of black health, black wellness, just overall. Want to invite him to the stage so we can start dissecting his brain and really just start digging into it, because with all this stress and shit that's going on, we need some alternative thought processes and shit in regards to our health and wellness. So you want to come on so we can introduce you?
What's happening?
All right,
What's
all
happening?
right.
Dr. Khalil, what's going on, my man?
Appreciate you.
It's all nice to be y'all space, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming, bro.
Of course.
Really
man. It's a
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Pleasure.
So give us your name and background and all that so we can dig in.
All right. My name is Khalil Perm. I am a chiropractor. I own and operate Right Spot Wellness, one of the 3 owners out here. So me, my wife, nurse practitioner Felicia, and my homeboy Tin Tran. He's also a doctor of chiropractic. And just kind of been in the fitness and the wellness and to bettering the human body, human condition all of my life. Many journeys, many different perspectives on it that have changed and shifted over the time. So continue to grow, continue to learn, but ultimately just trying to help people better and make a little money.
That's
You know?
right. That's right. That's what's important.
So we got a question we always ask our guests, because we have our start, and our start is somewhat of the ignition of George Floyd and his murder. So we're gonna ask you same thing we always ask: where were you when George Floyd was murdered?
Okay, all right. So actually, I'm not from Minnesota. I'm not from Minneapolis. I'm originally from DC, Maryland, DMV. I was in Arizona at the time, planning my move here. I moved here for chiropractic school, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was pretty ignorant to the Midwest, and when I saw that, I really didn't know what to think of it, what to make of it. You know, especially the fact I was going to be moving here in 4 months. You know, that was a pretty shocking thing to see. Um, and I know the news showed a lot of different things and a lot of different perspectives of it, and depending on your media source. The same image told several different stories, right? Not the actual filming of it, but the coming together of the community and the aftermath. And I know a lot of things were made to be negative. One of the things I'll say is um, I was glad to see us come together, people come together in a positive way. Overwhelmingly, you had your outliers, but overwhelmingly, everybody came together in a positive way, and and it made me feel a little better about coming here.
Mm.
It was a tragic situation all around. Fortunately, America, we're all too used.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So how did that shape your business,
I don't I don't know that directly.
if it did at all? Right.
I don't think it had a direct bearing on it. I'm from DC. It's all black. you
Right.
know, and so
Chocolate City.
yeah,
Right.
I honestly didn't didn't recognize the a black movement like that because we were the black movement. Just like sometimes we could say our counterparts here, they don't recognize their privilege. Well, being in a predominantly black area, yeah, we had issues. You know, the people in power were still the people in power, right? They always hold the power. But I had a tremendous amount of privilege there because I almost never felt like an outsider,
Mm.
you know. And so it wasn't until I traveled around the country and the world to where I saw like, oh, it's different. It's different for a lot of people. And I think that more so shaped me in realizing like there are certain places where we go where the black middle class is so small. You have a tiny, tiny black middle class. The upper class is non-existent, and a lot of people in poverty. And that was kind of my impression when I got here. And I thought, man, I have to do something about it. Not directly. That's not my calling. Other people have that calling. My calling was okay. Well, I can get people healthy, get them well, and if health is wealth. Number one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I agree 100%. I don't think people put the emphasis on health as they should. You know what I mean? But I have a question for you. Do you look at health in the prevention manner?
100%. So the best treatment is prevention. Um, you know, as actually as a chiropractor, it's hard because a lot of people come to you when they're in this debilitating pain,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you should come see me earlier. I think the number one thing people say to me is, "Oh, I fell or got in a car accident, and my back hurts, so I didn't think I could see a chiropractor right now." I'm like, that's exactly when you see it. And before then, before you fall, right? If we do some work to get you healthy, because you know you know, TikTok, social media is a double-edged sword. People see TikTok as a bunch of thick girls in yoga pants getting
Mm-hmm.
adjusted. I
Mm-hmm.
went to school thinking that. It's not that. It's your grandmas, it's your moms, it's your uncle pull the muscles, shoveling the
Right. The
driveway.
majority.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
now because of TikTok though, the other end of that, the other side of the coin is young people really getting invested in it, right? And I'm thankful for that because now you have people in their 20s, people in their early 30s coming into our office and saying, "What can you all do?" And what we tell people is, "Look, motion is lotion." Pause. And we do our best to get people.
It's like nigga on
This
that
nigga
pause shit.
came on here and said,
I don't know.
"Paul."
I don't know the culture, but I don't want to get caught. I'm just being cautious, okay? People come to our office and look, if we can get you moving better, we can get you feeling better. And so if you're moving better, then if you don't have that limp, then you may not trip over the curb when you're getting out of the car or going into the grocery store. If you're feeling and moving better, you can go out and have fun with your friends. You can do this podcast longer. You can sit longer. Even though sitting is one of the number one reasons we have low back pain, you
Mm-hmm.
can do it because we worked on it. We do rehab plans. We do all that we can in the right spot just to make sure that everyone is moving good, feeling good, and we want to keep the monkey off your back. Don't wait till it's there. You know.
So, mobility is the biggest factor in regards to your role, right? Would you say that there's a lot of I would imagine, given that we have a stagnant culture, a culture that's just about being still, watching TV, whatever the fact may be, that you deal with a lot of people with a lot of lower back pain and stuff like that.
Lower back pain, upper back pain, like neck pain, truck drivers and office workers, number one.
Mm,
And you're not meant to sit like we are right now all day long.
yep.
This is a new phenomenon. People used to work. Now they got hurt working as well,
Mm-hmm.
but office work is new. That's 80 years old.
Yep.
Most people weren't doing that. Most people were laborers. That had its own set of problems, but we're dealing with a new set of problems. And sitting all day, you don't see too much in the world that's still and full of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
life is normally, it's normally correlated with movement,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
and we have really become very, very sedentary, very sedentary.
What are some of the suggestions and or conversations that you have with people in order to get them, well, I mean, yeah, mobile, because we got what is it, over 60% of United States is overweight, so that's just one factor. So how do you get these people into the mind frame and conversations to be like, yo, you gotta move because moving is living. And what does that sound like as far as the rebuttal, even from them?
Yeah, honestly, I'm figuring that out. All of
Okay.
my life, I was a athlete. Um, I was always involved in sports, and I snowboard, I mountain bike, I fish,
Nigga, you
I
snowboard?
I love it. I'd be the only one. I'm like a
Okay.
unicorn. When I pull down my ski mask,
Look, that's
they
why you in Minnesota. That's the first thing you say. Snowboarding there.
I'm
Now
there,
moving
yeah.
there.
and it's crazy, I love it, and it's I know I'm the only one, man, a lot of the time, but it's a growing community, even in I think Red Bull or something, the Olympics, is a black snowboarder, and
Oh yeah,
he's taking gold or
he's top
something like
tier.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot his
yeah,
name, but
and
he top
he
tier.
brings a different swag to it. I can't do any of that. I go down the mountain. That's all I do.
You go down and don't die.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it's
You
inevitable.
know, avalanche coming by.
Yeah, sometimes my day is short on the mountain, but the most time, man, I'm having fun, and so I'm not. It took me a while to understand people being sedentary because I just never was. I was in the military. I was a mechanic. All the things, I never was sedentary, so I didn't get it. But when you have to pay bills, you do what the job demands you do.
Yeah,
And one thing that
yeah.
COVID did was I saw a lot of people working from home finally, and I saw what they were doing, which was I was never in the office, and now I saw people just sitting all day at the computer. So I'm wrapping my mind around how to get people moving, and most of the things they say are things like, "I don't have the time." Yeah, I know I'm tired. Or but I see people out at the club, in the lounge. I see people doing all different types of stuff. So there's time. It's a priority thing, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm trying to figure out how to make it. Our culture, we move the needle on trend. We make
Hmm.
all the dances. We make all the hot spots, like you all said. We made polo cool,
Mm-hmm.
right? We made Tommy Hilfiger cool. So I'm trying to figure out how to make taking care of yourself and investing in yourself
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I don't know how to do it yet, but I pray that one day I figure it out.
I think
Well, I got another.
consistency is key. I think the more we talk about us moving and taking care of ourselves to whatever capacity, that's the key. Even having these one-off private conversations, just to keep reiterating to one another, because I even know Generation X, a lot of our let's say hip hop artists and shit like that is
How
dying.
old are you?
47.
Okay, I'm not with y'all.
Oh,
So I just wanted
okay,
to
all
let
right.
that be known. I didn't want. I
See how you just threw that shit out there. Oh, yeah, that's not me, nigga. That's not me.
I didn't
Damn.
want
Wait, I don't understand. Did you call us old?
Yeah,
He said,
that's
"No,
what he
was-
said.
I didn't
he a
say
young
anything.
nigga?
I
That's
said
what
I'm
he
not
said.
with y'all.
You?
Hey, don't throw your insecurities on me. Don't throw your-
Wow.
This nigga older than me. So,
So you threw
Anyway.
him under the bus.
First, let's get
You
that
with me
straight.
now. You with me now.
My point, assholes, was the fact that there are a lot of as we grew up off of watching these certain people on TV, whether hip hop, whatever the case, there are a lot of folks dying. Case in point,
Yeah.
just most recently, like Irv Gotti, you know what I'm saying? He
Mm.
passed away and stuff. So there's a lot of cats that are having these brain aneurysms. Even Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx had a stroke and he talked about it and whatnot. So there's a lot of folks that are dying off or whatever. So we gotta keep having these conversations so folks can start taking care of themselves, because it feels like that quite often, or not even quite often, but it's happening more and more as we even get a little older, is we're dying of these ailments that are preventable,
Yeah. Yeah.
Nigga, stop raising your fucking
well,
hand.
I just think
I was-
that maybe some of these illnesses are in fact preventable, and that they're strategically orchestrated to collect more money. Not your profession. I ain't talking about you.
No.
However, in your profession, they be selling these beds now. These memory foam beds right now. All beds come in a box now. You see a bed, you order a bed, it come in a box. If it come in a box, it means it could be folded. If it could be folded, that means it can sink. I'm a big nigga. So when I lay in that bed, it sinks and it kills my back. Too heavy, so my back is Bennett. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, God damn, my shit hurt.
Yeah.
This goddamn bed, right? And I've been through 4 or 5 expensive ass beds in the last 6 months, and I still can't find a bed that can hold my weight. And it used to be box springs. They used to have box springs, and that bed was hard, and I could sleep on that bed all day, all night.
But they still have them.
Where they at?
I have a spring bed with a thin layer of memory foam. They're in the store. They just don't have the big displays and the folding and the foam mattresses. Like you said, it's about money, right? The reason they're foam now is, I mean, there's a lot of things to it. You know, they say like NASA developed and all of that. But the good thing is you can compress it and ship it, and so you save money on shipping.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
So fuck your back. Fuck your back. It can ship easy.
But
yeah, it's
but
about
they
money.
also have like dense foam ones too, right? The problem is they don't feel plush when you lay in them. And see, we like to lay in the bed and immediately feel
Now
good.
that shit you talking about is hot as fuck.
Yeah.
So you lay in the shit and your body heat just sinks in and it pushes body heat right back to you. So you don't even need blankets and shit. That shit be hot as fuck.
And they are warmer, and they have cool top ones. They have all different types of technology they try to put with it. But what I try to do, you know, is just find a bed that fits me. Like you said, I had to go through beds. I had a memory foam bed. It lasted for a little while. It wasn't my thing. Tempur-Pedic, they're expensive. They're thousands of dollars.
I know.
But what I ended up having to do was get a dense foam one. So originally I got a medium one. Then I had to get dense. And you don't feel good when you land on it. And it, like I when the bed first get there, what's the first thing you try to do for some people? I just jumped on it. You know what I mean? Other people do other things to break their bed in, but when they first got to me, I jumped on it and my teeth clacked together. I was like, yeah. It was a stiff bed.
That's the goddamn bed I'm looking for.
Yeah.
What's the name of the goddamn bed?
I have a
See, there you
stern.
go. I'll be this close to getting me a bed to save my back, and then I just can't find it.
I have a Stearns and Foster. And
Stearns and Foster.
I think that's what it's called. I'm probably wrong. Stearns something, but it's expensive. But what you need to do is when you go to the mattress store, test them out like that. Dive on them, and if you bite your lip, that's the right bed for you.
Stearns and Foster.
If it
bed.
jars you when you jump,
nigga, this bed costs $5,299, man.
Damn.
Just take out student.
Oh, that's because you're a doctor. This nigga's a doctor. That's why.
No, I
got it.
This I bought them when they were giving student loans. That's what that is. So I got infinity interest on that bed. I'm gonna be paying that bed off for 20 years. So,
hey, but it's comfortable in
I can sleep.
And I can. You know, it's a really really firm bed for me. I was a bigger guy. I lost all the weight trying to become a doctor. Right, the gym took a back seat, and the books took over. Right, but I think I'm somewhere around 215 pounds. And that bed has been holding up for me.
Nice.
It's about 4 years old. But prevention is key. You mentioned, you think it's intentional. The intentional part is the saving. Our food it shouldn't be called food. It should be called like edible product.
Right.
And I didn't coin that term. Someone, a nutritionist or someone coined it, because most of our food is from byproducts of other things that we make and mill down and distill, or whatever the case may be, whatever we process. That's why we love corn so much, because you can make so
much
many
out of it.
different products from corn. But that doesn't mean it's good for you. It just means it's calorie dense. So you can have a calorie dense food with little to no nutritional value, right? And that's what we eat often. And then what they do is
most things are made out of corn.
Yeah. All your
or more, what do you call it? Complex carbs are made out of
and
corn.
I forget the difference. Complex. I'm not a nutritionist. I'll be honest, but I know
complex is like Cheez-Its, Pringles, all that shit. That's complex.
I'll only eat those if I find them in the center console when we're on a long road trip or
right,
something
right,
like that.
Right.
I do my best to stay away from processed foods. I try to eat most whole foods. What they say, shop the outside of the aisle. You shop the outside of the grocery store. On the outside is all your meat, produce, all of those things. It's the aisles that have all your snacks sodas and all of those.
Yeah, that's
so
the
that's
middle
the
aisle.
thing.
Yeah.
So
That's
the
you
middle
just
aisle.
walk the outer boy, and then you should be good.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna use that.
yeah.
I'm gonna use that.
And it's hard because then you got to cook. And this is America.
I
We'll
request
go.
some food to be
We'll
cooked.
go. Oh, you can do that. I don't know. You got different
Ain't you
swag.
married?
Yeah, but that's
Oh.
why.
I'll request. This gotta be part of this deal. I'm bringing in. Ain't no working. Motherfucker getting Mercedes and shit. I need a meal.
But my wife is also a doctor too, so it doesn't.
She working long hours.
Man, she working hella hours. She's the reason why I'm working long hours because I saw her go get her nurse practitioner stuff, all of that stuff, and she took me to a couple events, and there was some doctors in there with the Porsches and the tuxedos, and they were moving, and your wife will quickly no longer be your wife. If you don't. And I was a personal trainer
Step
at the
your game
time.
up, nigga.
So you got different types of people, man. You got a man who will try to belittle and stifle her, a man who will be insecure and run away, or a man who's going to elevate, and that's the beauty of a good relationship is when you have someone who forces you to elevate.
Step up.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I had this. I wasn't letting that. You knew you won't know what I know, but knowing what I know, you ain't letting that one go. You keeping her around, so
Right.
I elevate my
Right.
game, and now we have that clinic together.
That's right.
And I could. She cooked for me. Don't get me wrong. I don't have the leverage to demand anything.
Oh no, I ain't demand. No, let's not insinuate nothing, nigga. I ain't demanding nothing. I say I request.
Yeah,
a meal.
there we go.
I request a meal.
Now that I would do, and my lady's Panamanian, so she be making me the finest meals. You know what I mean? They're delicious. So I mean, ultimately, that's the point, right? We cook at home. We have 3 kids. Our kids got so upset. They weren't upset. I should frame that wrong. They came to us and said, "Can we have a normal meal?" And we were like, "What's a normal meal?"
What's a normal meal?
So keep in mind, what we'll do is we'll roast some broccoli, sweet potatoes, butternut squash, carrots together on a cookie sheet or something. We'll throw a little sugar on top. You want the kids to eat or whatever, just a little bit. We're not making Kool-Aid, but we'll throw a little on top, a bunch of seasonings. Season it well. Know how it is. But they were like, we'll cook some salmon, we'll broil some salmon. I'm always on the grilling whatever, shrimp, salmon, scallops, chicken, anything, right? Steaks. I said,
well,
what's
not always. This is
I-
Minnesota.
Yeah, no. I'm on the grill in the winter.
You on the grill in the winter?
I grill last weekend. I grill every weekend.
Salute.
I
It's
don't
too
know how to
goddamn
work
cold
an
for me to
oven.
even
I
look
don't know what
outside.
I put stuff in the oven. It's terrible. I'm not an oven cooker. I have to throw it on the grill. That's just what I do. So their meal that they wanted, that's a normal meal, was hamburger helper. And I was I just made you all steak. Yeah, but we don't want that. All of our friends eat hamburger help. All of our friends eat ramen and rice-a-roni and frozen meals. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm not knocking it. The parents cook for them what they cook for them, but that's not what we do. But moderation won't hurt you. I think getting back to what you said, moderation is the key.
Mm-hmm.
It won't going to Chipotle or going to Chick-fil-A or having 1 or 2 slices of pizza won't kill you. But when we get pizza, we eat the box. You know what I mean? And I mean all of it. We pouring the butter on top of it. I know I do it. We'll have a little something at this restaurant today, and then tomorrow we'll be at Five Guys, and then the next day we'll be at McDonald's.
Yes,
and that stuff is what gets you. I'm not saying you can't ever have it, but 90% of your meals need to be cooked at home. You need to be using whole foods from cooking from the outside of the aisle.
Yeah.
And that will save lives. But food is expensive.
Food is expensive, man.
Yeah.
How do you tell a poor family shop on the outside of the aisle when that's the most expensive aisle or place to shop at?
What?
And have them truthfully be like, yes, I want to change my mealing plan. You know what I mean? I grew up on ramen noodles, man. I mean, because I was poor. So, no, I eat ramen noodles.
I think here's the deal. I think I don't think being poor, um, in that sense is the problem, because if you think of a lot of the meals that we make, let's say it's black folks, Caribbean, whatever, a lot of those meals are meals that are meant to last a while, whether they're soups or whatever the case. We make them in big pots or whatever, and they're meant to last a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the problem. It's not about making a whole pot of chitlins, right? Chitlins ain't necessarily the problem, right? It's everything outside of chitlins that you're inviting into your meal process. If you're doing chitlins and then all of a sudden you're also doing Cheez-Its, you're doing Pringles and all this other shit, the same thing can be said like when I was paying attention to some Asian or Hmong families and stuff like that. They come here. They come from a place where it's just meat and veggies and rice, right? Meat, veggies, and rice. So if you look at Japan and other places like that, meat, veggies, rice, they straight. They ain't got this obesity problem and shit like that. But it's when you introduce a lot of these other corner aspects. Oh well, I'm a little bit hungry. Let me bite a little something to ease my appetite so that I can transition into my actual meal, whether it's traditional or not. Right? It's because there's all these fillers, whether you're sitting and waiting for a doctor's appointment and you see a fucking vending machine, you're like, let me just whatever settle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's all this in between shit that is getting us, that is really fucking us up. And those are those complex carbs that are really fucking us up.
Well, what you really doing is jumping right back to the people making the money, enticing you to buy these things, right? Because they ain't got that problem in Japan, right? They ain't got Suzus and Wham Whams on every corner.
Well, look at the Super Bowl. We all just watched the Super Bowl, right? Most of us, and most of us, some of us love to have, but no one tries to sell you a carrot on a Super Bowl commercial,
or good thing of soup that mama made or nothing like that.
Selling that, man, because that's not profitable, because it's expensive and farming doesn't have huge profit margins. You can't do it on you just, it's not vivid in color. Like the red dye number 440 or whatever it is. They're trying to ban it. It was actually
Do you know that is actual some type of mite or whatnot that is extremely poisonous on human beings if they bite us or whatever, but they ground it up and it becomes this red dye that they put in Skittles and all the shit that you see red in is literally a little mite type of bug that they ground up and it becomes that color.
So you know what? That is true. I'm not opposed to where we get our food. You know what? I think imitation vanilla extract is made from a gland in a beaver's butt.
Yep.
Okay, so they're making stuff out of anything. I don't know who figured that out. I don't know who gave it a taste.
Who the fuck is like that?
I'm looking at this nigga like, what the fuck is we talking about right now? Wait, what?
I don't know who gave
Somebody
it a taste.
grabbed a beaver was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me try it.
Wait, nigga, they had to taste it.
Yeah. But
this tastes like vanilla.
maybe it's just one component of the ingredients. But my point is, I'm not against. I mean, that was a bad example. We use food colorings from every place. My point was with that dye, we figured that out. It was bad for us a long time ago, and they actually took it out of food. But what happened is people started to complain because the natural dyes that like beet juice and all of that is not as vivid in color.
Yeah.
So your fruity pebbles don't look the same. And so people started to complain. So the people are begging to be poisoned. You know, and that's something we have to look at, you know. And
ain't nobody begging to be no goddamn poison.
Well,
the thing being, if they don't want the color to be red, they stop buying it. If the color is purple or whatever the fuck a beet color is, excuse me, I mean, because a beet color is, they take that color or they don't. They stop buying it or they do.
Right.
It's profit. It's not stop buying it.
It's mostly marketing.
Yeah.
It's marketing and advertising because
Yeah.
I know I've gone into Aldi's and seen it ain't Fruit Loops, but it's let's say it's Fruit Loops. And you do a comparison with Fruit Loops and what they got at Aldi's.
Fruit Circles.
The Fruit Circles, right, ain't as vivid. But my son tears them some bitches up, right?
Yeah.
But that's because marketing doesn't do Fruit Circles. You don't see Fruit Circles on marketing. It isn't presented on Saturday morning cartoons and shit like that. So psychologically, is imparting you over and over and over and over again
Yeah.
that these are the way to go. So you expect even cheeseburgers, hamburgers, and shit like that. When we look at it, we like this shit don't look like the fucking screen or whatever. It's
Yeah.
because of that marketing aspect, but you
Yeah.
still eat it regardless.
Well, one of the things we really need to do is, honest, we gotta stop being fat ass.
Yep.
We eating
Yeah.
Good luck, America.
Yeah. Bottom line.
we eating too damn much.
Yep.
Too
I
often.
had a patient. A lot of my patients come in to get adjusted before they leave town and when they come back. And they said, "Hey, I gotta hurry up and get out of here. I have to go buy some snacks for my flight, some food." I said, "Okay, where you going?" They told me where they were going. It was like a 2-hour flight. So in my mind, I'm going, you can't go 2 hours
Without
without
eating?
eating?
Right.
And they stopped and they thought, because they also were talking to me about weight loss in the beginning of our visit. And they thought about it. And they're like, yeah, I can. I'm like, why do you want it? And they said, well, it's just something to eat on there. But are
Something
you
to do.
hungry? Yeah, it's something to do.
Yep.
And I try to talk to patients about that all the time. Look, I encourage fasting. It's the number one thing to do, intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage people to do hard things, first of all, because hard things are generally the things that make you better. Pause.
This nigga ain't pause. These young people in this fucking pause.
No,
shit,
no,
man.
no. He's right. That's
Nah, he
on
ain't
me.
right. Nigga, I didn't hear shit that required a pause. I'm listening to his story.
I encourage
fuck, man?
people to do difficult tasks. Thank you. I appreciate that. I encourage people to do difficult tasks.
Nigga, hard things. You're like, okay, yeah, hard
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
These niggas just like, that's gay.
Wait,
Like,
wait, because what is they thinking, nigga? When you say the word, like, nigga, you think
No,
of
It's
man.
not-
nothing
what
came
the
to
fuck
my
happened?
mind.
It's not
about
what we're
that.
thinking. It's what anybody else might be thinking.
Right. That's what I said.
Hey,
Fuck them.
I don't know. I don't
Anyway,
know.
go ahead,
People
go
are
ahead.
aggressive with their approaches nowadays. I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So do difficult tasks, right?
Yeah.
Because it makes you better. This conditioning. I call it doing push-ups.
Yeah.
That's your conditioning, right? So intermittent fasting is something great to do, but I encourage people to intermittent fast with a nutritious diet. You don't necessarily have to do it that way. But if you can get a lot of all the micro and macro nutrients that you need through your food and intermittent fast, it'll cut down on a lot of the problems we have. Because think of all the excess weight on your body like pulling a trailer. So you got a Honda Civic. That's a bad example. Honda Civic take anything. You got a Chrysler 200. That ain't gonna last.
Mm-hmm.
And you put a big trailer behind it. So your body, while resilient, if you keep loading it up and asking it to pour that load,
It's gonna break down.
asking your heart to pump, your fat is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Fat is alive. Your heart has to pump fluid, nutrients, and blood to that fat. It's alive. And the more of that you have, the more your body has to work, the more your lungs have to work, the more your heart has to work. It's a strain, and eventually your motor will blow.
Yep.
And-
It's
and-
not meant for it.
But if you lighten that load, you're good. And one of the ways you can lighten that load is to be active and to really talk about the barriers, right? Especially with people teleworking, working from home, remote. They're on their PC all the time. Some people have the shaking mouse, but now companies have gotten hip to that. They're on there all the time. They're on high demand. They're afraid to walk away from their computer because it might give them an alert that
Mhm.
says, "Hey, you've
Yep.
been inactive
Yep.
for too long."
Yep.
So they're just sitting there all day long, and they're snacking and they're eating.
Yep.
And then when they get off of work, you're mentally drained because stop work is oftentimes very unfulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about mental health, people used to have jobs that they were proud of.
Mm.
People aren't
Yep.
necessarily proud of their jobs anymore. They might like how much money it makes. Most people don't. Most people have jobs that they do only because it's what they have to do, and it doesn't even pay them well. But they don't have any pride in it. They don't feel good about it. Every day I leave work, for the most part, I feel great about what I did because I helped Miss Gladys,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
or I helped somebody get back on a basketball court. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
But
I could say 99% of the jobs I've ever worked with, a lot of Fortune 500, Fortune 50 companies, were unfulfilling. right? Because it was a lot of sit down, it was a lot of sit down, and it was a whole lot of sit down.
Yeah.
And then even when you went home, right? You get home, and let's say I was in school or whatever the case may be, I'm sitting down or whatever again. So most of the my life, right, I spent sitting down or laying down, basically. If I'm not sitting down, then I'm laying
Pause.
down, which is y'all niggas with this bullshit. Right? Like where the fuck the pause is?
Keep
Wait,
going, man. I'm mentally drained. I'm going to need to go to the goddamn
I'm trying to
clinic.
help you out.
No, you're not helping me out. I'm an OG, so I'm good with what I'm saying. No, so meaning I'm either sleeping, going to sleep, which is what eight, let's say 8 hours, and then I wake up and go to work in the morning or whatever, and that's most of the time. So most of my time is off of my legs. It's just standing. Is laying down in the bed. I don't know if that's. I got to be specific with y'all niggas.
Nope, got
In the
worse.
bed or.
He laid all the way down.
Like, what the fuck,
You
man?
just gave up, huh?
Oh goddamn!
Y'all's visualizations is killing me. But that's most of the time, most Americans nowadays, and that's why we're in the state where it's over 70%, 60% that are, well, over 70% are overweight and over 60% are obese.
Mhm.
So we live in a society here where we're just sitting down, and see, y'all gonna make. I gotta switch my words
It's
up because y'all
difficult, isn't it?
motherfuckers. But we're not doing much activity.
Mhm.
Man, I ain't got the capacity to think of me in
Man,
that much.
I
know, man.
I can't even say shit without
I
these
think of
niggas
women
like,
way too
pause,
much to think
pause,
of. Keep pausing when I'm talking. Fuck no.
Well, anyway, all right. So, ultimately, proactivity is the way to go. You know, staying active, being proactive, instead of popping pills and shit like that. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
You know, doing things like he and I actually we got our fast coming up. We do it every quarter where we do 72-hour water fast.
Mm.
That comes March 1st, I think it is, right? So every quarter we do this 72-hour fast. So y'all will see us next time, and niggas will look a little bit drained, but it is what it is. It's to rejuvenate. It's to get in touch, spirituality, shit like that. It's all of that, the above. So uh, everybody do something similar or whatever. And that's the faction to go. That's the way to go to escape. Any closing words you got?
I know it's difficult. I know it seems challenging, but embrace the challenges. I encourage people to find a community where you hold each other accountable, like you all have, right? You do it together. I encourage people to read, and read a lot of different things from a lot of different places, from a lot of different writers from around the world. You'll learn a lot. Um, you'll gain new perspectives, um, and try to help your neighbor.
Hmm. So I'm gonna
Nice.
say, I'm gonna
Hold
say,
on, let him
go ahead,
give a
go ahead,
shout
go
out to a black business. You got want to shout out to a black business?
I got a couple. First off, I like to give a shout out to Par 365. They're out here. They're in Roseville. They do a good job. Wonderful facility. And then I was just there. We were there for the art show, Camden Social. I love the food there.
Oh, sure.
The food was already good, but every time I come, the bar is raised. Great food. B3. It's a sporting complex
B3, yeah.
over in North, and state of the art facility run by wonderful people, helpful people. And then, I'll shout out my business, Right Spot Wellness. We're in Roseville.
That's right.
There's 3 of us. We have a nurse practitioner on staff, acupuncture, chiro, cupping, functional. We do IV therapy. Everybody's heard of the hangover drips, but we treat conditions, everything from chemo to autoimmune diseases. Yeah, it's a lot of us out here, and we can really do a lot of good together. And y'all spoke earlier about bringing that dollar back. Bring the dollar back. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, and invest in your grandmother, and invest in your health, and you'll invest in your community that way.
Indeed,
Absolutely.
indeed.
Let the people know how they can get a hold of you again, how to get to your spot.
Right Spot Wellness. So we're over by Rosedale Mall off of County Road B. You can look us up on Instagram, social, Google us. RSW Twin Cities on social media. Yeah, give us a follow. We're always posting content. We try to post helpful stuff, and we do a lot of pop-ups. when if you're interested, we do a lot of workplace wellness events for employees, right? So employees are underserved. They
Mhm.
really are. A lot of our small Black businesses don't have the ability to give our employees insurance the way we would really, really like to.
Right.
But what we can do is give them preventative care, like we talked about. If we give them preventative care, we can help avoid these $30,000 hospital bills. Others come out. It helps your employees. It helps with employee retention. A happier employee is a productive employee, and we can really help each other that way.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Respect.
Absolutely. Well, since he only get one Black business, he try to shout out the whole situation. I'm gonna also shout out V3. You know what I mean? I wanted to get that a shout out this evening. So yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna give a shout out and love to Camden Social. Camden Social, we just did that Art is My Weapon event or whatever. So that's actually two businesses. One's nonprofit, one's for profit, which is Camden Social. But everybody go to Camden Social. It is a spot to just chill, listen to jazz music, listen to music. They got some creative food, creative cocktails and whatnot, and it's a beautiful place over North Minneapolis. So you won't be dissatisfied. All right, so thank everybody for chiming in. As always, we really appreciate your time. Remember to like, subscribe, please share everything that you hear because we about that life. We out.